What's up everyone, my name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube, and in today's video we're going to be looking at an unusual men's fragrance from Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Beau Male. Now what's interesting about Le Beau Male is that it isn't Le Male and it isn't Le Beau, it's Le Beau Male. And at first I thought there was like a labeling error or something, but no, Le Beau Male is a fragrance and it isn't Le Male and it isn't Le Beau. Now I don't own Le Beau anymore, but I do own Le Male, the original. And the original Le Male is one of those classic 90s, fresh, with a little bit of sweetness men's fragrances. And despite what other reviewers say, I do think this one still holds up very well. I mean, of all of like the powerful, popular men's fragrances from the 90s, Le Male is one of the ones that just absolutely still holds up. And I can just smell it straight from the bottle, like it is very potent still. And so if you haven't worn this one yet, I definitely recommend checking it out. However, I did do a review of a fragrance called Everflaw's Whiskey, which is like a cheap yellow bottle. And that's an almost note-for-note replica of this, and you can get that for $15. So if you don't want to pay the big bucks for Le Male, try Everflaw's Whiskey. Anyway, back to Le Beau Male. This is, I think it smells more like the original Le Male than it does Le Beau. Le Beau is like a very creamy, sort of coconutty, sunscreeny men's fragrance. This one, on the other hand, is a more herbal and fresh take on Le Male. It still has a little bit of sweetness, but it is nowhere near as sweet. And what I like about Le Beau Male is that all throughout the fragrance, from the opening to the dry down, this thing smells herbaceous and aromatic and a little green as well. There's not any particular note in this fragrance that I actually dislike, and I think it smells fantastic. The only thing is, availability for this seems to be pretty poor. I don't know if it's been discontinued or not, so you'll have to do your own research in that regard, but I paid $35 for 75 ml of this, and at that price, it's a bloody steal. It's a great fragrance, especially if you want something similar to the original Le Male, but you want it to be even more warm weather appropriate. This has the density and the denseness of an eau de parfum, but it's still an eau de toilette. Actually, I think it's an eau de intense. I knew I saw it somewhere. Jean-Paul Gaultier, eau de toilette, intensely fresh. I knew I saw that somewhere in the packaging. And I'll just show you the bottle again. So it's pretty similar to the original Le Male. It's still like the man in the bottle style. It's just a wider take, a cleaner take. Also, Le Beau Male has a muskiness as it dries down that I really enjoy as well. It isn't a dirty musk, it's a really fresh, clean musk, which gives it that sort of masculinity that it might not otherwise have. If it didn't have the musk in the dry down, this would be a pretty unisex fragrance. So if you're not a fan of unisex fragrances, try this on a tester strip first. However, if you generally like unisex fragrances, or you don't mind wearing unisex fragrances, check it out. It's absolutely worth it, especially if you can find it for $35 Australian like I did. Just like the original Le Male, performance is good to great. I get over 6 hours of performance on my skin. Your skin chemistry may differ a little bit, so just keep that in mind. But I would say for like a summer fragrance, this is definitely, you know, long lasting and it's gonna perform well. So yeah, I haven't seen many reviews on this one. I haven't seen much coverage for it. It seems to have gone under the radar and just sort of dropped off of existence. So have you ever worn Le Beau Male before? If you have, let me know in the comments below, as I'm curious to find out. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel. This is Le Beau Male, and I'll catch you guys around.